In towards Chivers, nodded on nicely there, and now Martin Peters, hard and low across, and a deflection, probably off Blockley, certainly not off a Tottenham player, and going behind for the corner to Tottenham Hotspur. That left Wilson stranded. Kennedy. And now Armstrong, and this might be the chance for Arsenal now, with Kennedy and Radford in the middle. Kennedy lets it go, and Mike England saving Spurs at the very last, because that was going through towards Radford, but a lovely break by Arsenal, led by Armstrong, and now McNabb, onto the right foot by McNabb and into the side netting. Simpson. Come towards Radford, nodded down there for Kennedy, turned in nicely for Alan Ball, and just across the face of that Tottenham goal, and behind for the goal kick. But a very good piece of understanding again by Arsenal coming forward, and Alan Ball popping up. If there's one criticism that a lot of people have of Alan Ball, he does fight shy of shooting a goal, but he worked himself into a beautiful position there for the shot. Chivers coming fast away from that Arsenal defence. Peters, Evans, Pearce, Story. Again Martin Peters. Evans first time. Pearce, and that'll fall for Martin Peters. And now Chivers and a 1-2 with Peters, and Blockley in there, and some pushing as well as Evans blasts once across, and it's there. No, it's been disallowed. Jimmy Neighbour thought he'd put Spurs ahead, but the linesman was flagging for offside, and the goal does not stand. And in England and Perryman misunderstanding each other's intentions, and now Neighbour in full stride. But Blockley and Rice coming across to cover. He's got Chivers there as well. Chivers! Oh, just wide, and he hit it so well. Oh, yes, says Bob Wilson, that was close, and Wilson knows it better than most. Eddie Kelly. Now ball to Radford. Armstrong. Still with Armstrong, and that's a good-looking cross by Armstrong. And it's there! The goal by Peter Story! It's Story who's got it, and it was a beautiful cross by Armstrong that set it up for him. The little man got it on his right foot, and it was a deep one that eluded everybody in the Spurs defence. Story popping up on the far post, 1-0 to Arsenal. Jimmy Pearce with this throw. Again, quite a good long one. Chivers hoping to use his height at the near post. Perryman turning it back for Knowles. Perryman again. Maybe he'll line up a shot. Not too far for that. England trying at 1-2, and there are so many Arsenal players back. All of them, in fact, were back except Alan Ball, who's on the ball at the moment. Armstrong. And now Radford. Story was offside, but it was all right. Now Radford. And that is going to be number 2. John Radford. The linesman, in fact, there was a degree of possibility that Story might have been offside, but then he ran into an onside position, and Radford was always onside, and Radford running through, making it 2-0. Jennings, the unhappy job now of picking it out of the net. Radford. Stopped by Mike England. Knowles. Back for Pat Jennings. Blockley. All straight at Peters, and now Chivers. Can he burst on this one? Still with Chivers, and a flick on Peters. Yes, it's a goal! 2-1. Martin Peters, the scorer. Beautifully taken. And that really opens things up. The Arsenal player, and I think it's Peter Simpson, is down and hurt after that challenge by Chivers, and Story is going absolutely mad with everyone around him. Linesman flagging for offside. The Arsenal supporters think it's all over, but it's not quite yet. And now it's seconds now for Tottenham. The last crisis for Arsenal as Spurs go in again, all of them, and Blockley once more gets above them all. And it's all over, and Arsenal have won this derby game at Tottenham. A fortnight ago, everyone was talking of crisis when they lost to Derby. Since then, they've beaten Leeds, and now they've beaten Spurs by 2-1. Story, the scorer of their first goal. John Radford, the scorer of their second goal. And then when Ralph Coates in the picture there came on, Martin Peters scored the goal for Spurs that gave them a bit of hope. And finally, in a thrilling last 5 minutes or so, Arsenal held on and took 2 points from the game. Armstrong tried to get there first, but Perryman was after him. Brady now to Nelson. Played on towards Hornsby. Shadowed by Beale. Nelson again. Hornsby trying to dummy his way past Beale, and he didn't succeed. Simpson picking up the loose one. Nelson making a good run, which Spurs didn't really spot. And there's Nelson with an interesting cross there towards Alan. Ball turned down towards Kidd. Oh, a deflection there across the line. No, said the linesman. No, said the referee. Yes, said Brian Kidd. And Spurs come through unscathed. Now, did that ball cross the line? And with the Spurs supporters chanting at one end, the replies coming swiftly from the North Bank, where the most of the Arsenal fans are ranked at this moment. Ball to Brady. Chipped in once more. Osgood in trouble. Kidd! And he's got it in there! Brian Kidd has scored. Well, that's a terrible blow for Tottenham. As the ball came in there, young Keith Osgood perhaps not quite positive enough, and Kidd was able to sneak in and tuck it under the body of Pat Jennings. Played in towards Duncan. Oh, Barnett had it and lost it, and Con! No, he couldn't quite get it over the line. It was kicked away right at the end by Sammy Nelson. Well, as soon as Jeff Barnett lost that one, Arsenal could have been in trouble. Con just got a foot to it, and Nelson just kicked it away. Knows. Did well there. Naylor. Equally well as Spurs come forward again. Now, Perryman, can he just get there? Barnett didn't quite know where he was. Doesn't know where he was. Oh, and can't put it wide. And Terry Naylor is roaring all over the ground. The Spurs players cannot believe it. Perryman went tearing through. Barnett came roaring out. It cannoned off his legs. It looked a simple chance for Alfie Conn, and poor Alfie Conn turned it wide of the post. A throw to Arsenal. Again, the referee looks at his watch, and it could well be that Spurs have got it all to do on Monday night against Tottenham. Brady to Ball in a lot of space on the far side against Leeds at White Hart Lane. Hornsby right through there, and Jennings out again, and it's still not away yet. Can Hornsby get past Spurs goalkeeper? He can, and it's headed off the line that time by Osgood. Here's Brady, quite a finale, and this time it's into the arms of Jennings. There goes the final whistle. Arsenal are pleased with their victory, and Spurs have to worry for a little longer to know whether they will come here for the league next season. The only goal of the game scored by Brian Kidd in the first half. Spurs not finding the ball running for them very much in the Arsenal penalty area, but having certainly their moments of luck too in their own penalty area. So we wait and we wonder about the other results and about Spurs against Leeds in this midweek. A final scoreline at Highbury today then that reads Arsenal 1, Spurs 0.